Hi, WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have a single cask Teeling. This was cask number 10127, exclusively bottled for Germany, whiskey base 82814. So this was distilled in October 2004 and then bottled in April of 2016, so 11 years old. 9 of its years it spent in an ex-bourbon cask, probably a third fill, maybe even a fourth fill bourbon cask, we don't know. When Jack/John Teeling sold his Cooley distillery to Jim Beam. Jim Beam was later bought by Suntory, so now it's Beam Suntory. He actually was allowed to take tens of thousands of his barrels with them, and this was one of them. And so they were not really worried about having the best barrels in the world back then. And also it was very, very difficult in Ireland. I should have poured something so that I had time to breathe. Also in Ireland, it was a little difficult to get in 2004 great barrels because most of them were, first of all, went to Scotland. There were cooperations between distilleries in America and many of the same distilleries in Scotland. Diageo is one name and so on. They actually traded barrels and belonged to the same company. And so the B grade barrels often ended up in Ireland. And then after 9 years in an ex-bourbon cask, they put it for another following 2 years into a white burgundy cask. 58%. White burgundy is just a Chardonnay grape, and there were a total of 306 bottles of this, only for Germany, with a price of 89 euros, $93, $95, a lot. So let's see first of all how it smells. Very nice. A typical cask strength ex-bourbon cask smell, a lot of vanillas, a little bit of the wood, a little bit of alcohol. And I do have a little bit of the white Chardonnay wine, the white burgundy wine. And it's very, very, it almost smells creamy. I don't know how I can smell that. But I do get the grapes, and I do get that grain. So, Solange? %58 is a lot. I almost forgot. Now what happens is, comes in fairly nice. A lot of the vanillas, a little bit of that white wine grapiness, sweet, creamy, wood, and then something happens. That wood kicks in, those old ex-bourbon barrels, and the entire wonderful experience is tainted by that old wood taste. I have no idea how often they use those ex-barrels. It was, I think, in my opinion, at least 3 times. Most of you know from whiskey.com Horst, the Horst, and he sometimes talks about in Scotland the barrels being used up to 10 times. So 3 years minimum age, and therefore you just keep on using them, especially for the supermarket whiskeys, and so there's no more color in there and so on. You have to add the color in Scotland, and sometimes also Ireland. So this is non-chilled filtered, this is no coloring added, it's very, very light color, even though it is 11 years old. Imagine a bourbon 11 years old looking like this. This is just, no. So what I have here, what do I have something here? So I'm trying to find something. So this is a 24-year-old bourbon. This is Parker Heritage Collection, bottled in bond, 24-year-old. Totally different beast, to be honest there. But very, very typical for Irish. Now I've added some water. I've diluted it down to about 48%. Is what I'm trying to go for now. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Just keeps on going down. This really has the potential of being a very, very nice Teeling single cask edition. But unfortunately, it's not. It's a C. I'm going to not give it a C minus, even though maybe on a bad day I would do that. 89 euros, $95 for this. No. It's exclusive for Germany. There's only 306 of them. It's 58%. It has a finish in these white Burgundy, also sometimes called Pinot Blanc. A cask. It's got all the right things, but still that wood just ruins it for me. I'm so sorry. So a value for money is going to definitely be a D minus. Yeah, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Some of them are good, some of them are not. 306 bottles of this single cask from Teeling. Maybe some of them made it to Holland or Belgium or to Denmark or to England or maybe even to the States, who knows. And maybe you've had the experience, I'm not going to say pleasure, of tasting them as well. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, tell others about this crazy American over here in Germany tasting these rare and exotic whiskeys. Videos come out on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. See you soon.